Alright guys, ready for part 2 of my 14-pound box from ShopGoodwill. I just spent a lot of time detangling and pulling stuff out. Everything that's left was pretty much one big tangled mess. I still have this tangle to work out. The problem with the rest of these, there's 3 different necklaces in this mix that are multi-strand, and so every time I tried to work around them, it was in between 2 of the strands and there was no way out. So this one silver chain is kind of wrapped in and around multiple strands of 3 different necklaces. One of them does have a Premier Designs tag. I think the other 3 in this mess are unbranded, but I will get them apart. I was done. I was done. So I untangled everything and I have the stuff back in the box so that I can show it off. I did have a few things I didn't bother putting back in the box. This is about 7 or 8 little broken pieces of chains. None of them precious metal or anything, so they'll all be crafted with or tossed. And then I went ahead and didn't put back all of these random bangles. So in addition to all the bangles that you saw me pull out in the part 1 of the video, these were what was still left in the box. None of these are precious metal, but there was in the mix this one that is sterling silver. So it looks old and it's stamped sterling inside, which is starting to wear off. I have not yet tested it personally, but I have no reason to suspect that it's not. So I do have one sterling bangle out of all of the random skinny little bangles that I've pulled out of this box. One sterling one, and the rest were all junk. But anyway, I still have a giant pile of earrings. So I'll just show you that pile sitting there is all earrings. Tons of feather earrings. Those I will get sorted after I show off these necklaces. So here you go. Okay, well, I was not planning on doing this right now, but my internet does not seem to want to work this morning, so we're gonna just finish this video up. I'm guessing it's been kind of wonky ever since lockdowns happened, so obviously there's a lot more traffic on there. But I'm guessing since it's now Good Friday, there might be people that have still been going to work that are off today, and it is overloading my internet, and it just doesn't want to let me do anything. So anyway, we'll start pulling all these necklaces out. I did cheat a little, and I have seen some of them. I haven't really done any research or looked anything up, because I was more concerned with pulling stuff out of the box. But this is Sarah Coventry, and it's got an issue with, I'll have to figure out, it either had a replaced clasp or something, but this little hook and this big clasp don't seem to work right, but they do look like they match and go with the piece, so I'll have to figure out what's up with that. But it's Sarah Coventry. It doesn't have any pendant or anything on it, just a gold tone chain. And then there is just this loose chain of charms, not attached to anything. It looks kind of Lucky Brandish, and somewhere in here there's a Lucky Brand chain that has nothing on it, but it's not, it doesn't look like it goes with that, so show it when I get to it then. Then we have this fun faux turquoise bead necklace on a leather cord. That will probably go in a necklace or a jewelry lot. I'm trying to do one big lot per week. So every Sunday I've been sending out a large jewelry lot. Last week I sent out a 300-piece jewelry lot along with a watch lot. This is on a leather cord, but the leather cord is broken. So I will likely just take this off and keep the funky pendant. I'm gonna guess 95% of this box all came from one particular donation because of all the feather stuff. Somebody really liked their feathers. This is just a super long wooden bead necklace. Double strand. And then this gold tone chain necklace. This one I don't think had, no indication of any branding, but it's got like completely spaced out charms. Little horseshoe, little peace sign, little heart, little feather. No branding, no clasp or anything, just a really long necklace with a few spaced out dangles. And then we have this red wooden bead. Actually, I don't think they're wood, I think they're like nuts or something. You can see some of the imperfections. They look too small to be like acorns or something. They're very lightweight. And then this loose pendant. I will say there were a few things that I pulled out of the tangles that were obvious junk that I may have already tossed. So I'm trying to show you everything, but if it was truly just a piece of junk, I got rid of it. But this is a fun heart necklace. I don't think it's sterling or anything. If I remember correctly, it's not magnetic though. No, not magnetic at all. Unbranded, but I do really like that. Then we have this long wallet chain. This little, I think some of these are glass, and maybe even the seed beads in there are glass. Not sure about the pendant, but it's pretty. Funky little star pendant that doesn't seem to match, but it's on a thick silver tone chain. This little bracelet that has a Deborah engraved little girl head and a Vernon engraved little boy head. So those I normally take off and will use them for crafting and can glue them on something with the engraved sign on the back. So just a little chain, no branding or anything on that. A fun little bracelet, little mauve beads, no branding on that. The no branding theme is going to carry throughout most of this. This I really kind of liked. I don't really like these wire necklaces much, and this one's kind of bent out of shape, but I really did like the stones on there. Another stretch bracelet, junk. I tried to set them gently in the box in such a way that there was no possible chance they could get retangled, so we'll see. But I wanted to kind of show them off as if I was pulling them out of the box. This is just a pretty multi-strand, 2-strand, stuck on something. It should, there we go. Little gold tone. And I believe this one was highly magnetic. Slightly magnetic. But not anything precious. Another unbranded piece. Multi-chain. These are awful at untangling. Now, when I put necklaces in a box to ship out a lot, some people advertise that they individually bag the pieces, and maybe if I was selling a lot of old branded pieces and expecting it to go super, super high, I would take that time to do that. But what I do is I lay them out individually on a layer of tissue paper, and I try to lay, like, I won't put this next to anything else that's a chain. I might lay this out, and then I might lay this out in a couple layers next to it, and then I might lay another chain next to that, and then I might lay this one, something chunky next to it, and then I'll put another layer of tissue paper over the top and lay out another layer. So there is a possibility that some of them will get tangled in my boxes, and I do put that in the listing. I don't want anybody to expect them all to pull out perfectly. But when you buy a 15-pound box of jewelry, my assumption is that most people assume that it's going to come tangled. I try to avoid it, but I also start my auctions at $9.99, and if there's 300 pieces and they ended up actually selling for only $9.99, that would barely cover the cost of 300 little individual bags to put them in. So this one is branded. This one's Tahari, and I do like this one. Super long, and it's got these little bar with little rhinestones and the flowers. It's pretty. This one I could probably get, I'd say, somewhere in the $15 to $22 range. Then we have another fun owl piece. I like owls and butterflies. It's got all these little leaves, kind of feathers making them up. Unbranded, just on a silver chain. He's cute. He'll go in a necklace lot. Somebody will love him. Then we have, whoops, show this one first. This is somebody's like birthstone mother necklace with their 3 kids' birthstones. Citrine and peridot, and I can't think of the light blue one, aquamarine or something. Citrine and peridot covers 2 of my children, but I need a different one in the middle. If it was a match for my kids, I would keep it. But anyway, then I have, it has a replacement clasp. It has this leather magnetic clasp, which I think is just an extender, and I will remove it because, yes, I can take it off. A bunch of the tangle was caused by this magnetic piece too, because everything lumped around it. I swear, guys, if somebody had given me this batch of necklaces and said, tangle these as best as you can, and gave me like a half an hour to do it, I don't think I could have tried and succeeded at tangling them to the extent that they were. But this, it looks like, says 925 on the little end. So I will test it, and I will test the pendant also. Let me see where my magnet goes. Not magnetic. Not magnetic. So yes, I will test this. It might be sterling with the gemstones in there. Of course, I need somebody that has 3 kids with those birthstones, or mom, dad, and 1 kid with those birthstones. This is just an unbranded, cheapy little necklace, kind of wooden, super lightweight wooden beads. Go in a necklace lot. And then we have this, also unbranded. I think it's still a little bit tangled on itself, but just a fun little bib type necklace. I like that. I'm kind of drawn to these. Of course, every one of these little pieces was either had an earring hook stuck through it or was tangled among one of the other chains in some way, shape, or form. So it was not a fun piece to retrieve from the pile, but I got it. This one is kind of fun. It's got this little heart, almost looks like a crown type thing with the heart gemstone inside and a tiny little rhinestone on the top. And this one has a tag, but I'm not familiar with it. I don't know. It either says 310, 310, or maybe Ole, O-L-E. I don't know if that's going to show up. I haven't looked into it yet, but it's either a 310 or an Ole. It doesn't seem incredibly high quality. It's not magnetic, but I would definitely not guess that to be gold. But I will definitely see if I can find some more information on 310 or Ole, whichever it may be. This is just a silverish, goldish tone necklace. Nothing on it, no branding. I'm guessing it was silver, gold washed or gold plated, because part of it is gold tone, but then the upper part that would go around the back of the neck is pretty rubbed off and silver tone. There's an obvious difference in color between the bottom and the top. And I don't think it was magnetic. Nope, it's not magnetic, so I will test it for silver and see what happens. Lots of little dainty chains. This one's a fun little leaf necklace, kind of a brass and copper and black. Let's say more of a copper color. Fun little leaf necklace, unbranded, but I do like it. And then this one, also unbranded. Just these little beads. I'm not really sure what type of material that is. Almost like rubber, I think. Just little rubber pieces. And then, still more to come. All of these were all tangled in one mass. This is a fun little necklace. It's got these little rhinestone pieces, multi-chain on the bottom, and then the top is this thicker, similar style chain. I don't know if that's called box chain or what the word is for that, but I kind of like this one. It's unbranded also, but it is unique. I like different. Something that stands out a little bit. Then we have this chain with this fun pendant on it. And the pendant obviously does not match the chain. But it's not like real diamonds or anything because they have a solid back and I think, yeah, this is magnetic. So, it looks pretty. It looked when I pulled it out like it might be something, but I don't think it is. Very pretty though, and definitely not its original chain just because there's a complete difference in color. Somebody's chain broke and they put it on that one. Then we have this chain, and this one also looks more gold tone at the bottom and silver tone at the top, but it might actually be on purpose. And this one's broken on one end, but not magnetic, so, oh, well, the clasp is magnetic, but I will test it and see. It is broken on one end. It's unmarked anywhere that I could see. But if it's not sterling or anything, it'll go in a craft pile. Another fun little owl. Unbranded as well. And then we have this fun heart necklace. It's just on a, not nylon, cloth canvas cord. It's pretty. It's unbranded. I like it though. And then we have, yep, there's still a lot more to go. This one also unbranded. Super, super long, so you could wear it doubled over or extra long or probably even tripled over. There's that. And I'm going to pause because I have to respond to a message real quick. Oh my goodness, I have been so busy today playing social director for my 8-year-old. I think she has more friends than I've ever had in my entire life combined. But I got her set up on Messenger Kids, which parents have complete control over, and it seems pretty safe so far, and there are no ads, and I think it's worth checking out if you have kids. She's been messaging her grandparents and her cousins and keeping up with family and entertaining them with just odd little messages here and there, and we've got a couple of her friends on there, and today I got in touch with 3 more friends' parents to see if they could get on there, and going back and forth to get them all set up. So I might not see my 8-year-old for the rest of this lockdown, but she is very happy, so I'm okay. It's good for her to have some communication with the outside world. But anyway, here's this pretty, blingy, hard to see, it doesn't look, can't get you to see all the bling properly. Super blingy little floral, unbranded on a silver chain necklace. Then we have this, just a chain. Yeah, unbranded. It just has this little rhinestone dangle on one end, but it's unbranded, and I'm guessing it probably had a pendant or something on it at some point in time. Here is the Lucky brand chain, and it's got its original tag and a price. I thought it had a price, maybe not. No price on it, but it's a tag from Macy's. It says Lucky brand, has the little Lucky brand dangle clover on the end, but it has no pendant on it. So when I first pulled out, where'd it go? This, and thought, oh, that looks like Lucky brand. And this says Naturally Dropped Feathers is the name of the necklace style or whatever. Thought maybe this might go to it, but it doesn't look at all like it would match that chain. So I thought maybe I'd find something else in here that looked more like it would have gone with this. And honestly, this piece, if I wanted to take this off of the brown broken leather cord and put it on this chain, looks like it would go a lot better. So I might do that, but I don't want to misrepresent it, so I'd have to say that it's not the original Lucky brand pendant, but it is cool. Then we have also unbranded this multi-strand fun little tassel on the end, and this unbranded. The messages keep coming. More people want to be my child's friend. Oh, to have a social life again, wherever. Actually, I'm kind of enjoying this whole life of everybody stays home and reads books, because that's kind of the life that I've always wanted to lead, so I can't complain. This one, that's the end, is unbranded, and I believe it is marked 925. It is marked something. Oh, it says sterling on it, and I have no reason to believe it's not sterling. So it's a pretty chain. There was nothing in this, oh no wait, yeah, I don't think there was anything in here that I suspected of gold, even in the piles of earrings that I have yet to separate. This one is unbranded, but there were a couple sterling things, so that's always nice. And I've definitely made more than my money back. So this is another little sterling thing. Just the pendant charm, marked 925 on the back. I will test it, but I have no reason to doubt that it is sterling. Almost done with the necklaces, and then I get to sort all of those earrings. So this is a fun necklace with this long tassel. Unbranded, but fun. I say that a lot. This one, unbranded also. Not as fun, but it's okay. This one, unbranded also. With this funky elephant, the trunk and tusks and a feather and a moon and only good vibes. A little stone and a long chain. I'll say this is unbranded, but fun. I do like it. And then we have, this one is branded. This one's Leah Sophia. And at first when I pulled it out, I thought it was broken. I thought it was missing whatever stones were in those two circles on the side. But on the back, everything else is solid except for those. So I think that is actually the way it was made. But it's a nice little Leah Sophia piece. Another unbranded. Fun bead necklace. Getting there, guys, getting there. This is a couple pieces of a broken necklace. Didn't have any branding or anything special to it. Ooh, this one was pretty. Just faux turquoise, and it's unbranded, but I just really liked that pendant, so. And then this one, if I can get it turned around. It's a fun little leaf, little black beads on there, silver chains hanging down from it. Oops. Little cross on a cord. Necklaces, here we go. This one is marked something. Let's see if I can make it out. I see a 14, but I think it says 14 kgp. It is not magnetic, so it will go in my pile to test. It's just a chain. This is a really pretty locket, and I did test this one with the magnet, but the gold parts are all extremely magnetic, and the silver part is not at all magnetic, but I highly doubt they would use sterling on a super cheap setting, so not guessing it's sterling, but it's a pretty little locket. And then we have this. Is not on any chain or anything. Oops. It's got this pretend pocket watch, the key, and a snake coiled up in there. This would be fun on something. Down to the final few pieces. Okay. So, this is one that was still tangled in itself, but you can get the picture. It's 2-strand little hearts, one with rhinestones. This one is branded Express. As I'm untangling these, if I get one loose from the patch and it's still got tangles in itself, I get lazy and just set it aside and figure I can get to it later. But it is branded, it is Express, it is super pretty. Could probably get $15 for that one. And then the final necklace is this fun shell necklace, unbranded also. And that is it. Then I have at the bottom of the box this little heart, which I believe is sterling. I will test that. And then this piece is gold around the edges and a gold clasp, and I also believe this one said 14 kgp. So I will double check and test that, but it's just a little pendant. Oh, I lied, there's one more necklace in there. Just this dainty little chain with these tiny little faux pearls, no markings, and this one I believe was very magnetic. Oh, that's the, yeah. So not anything special there. And then, oh no, one more. This one was tucked in the corner of the box. It's a little rhinestone pendant and unmarked. Well, maybe this one was marked. I think this one was marked 925. And yeah, it's not magnetic either, so I will test that one, double checking for sure if there's anything else tucked down here. Just a bunch of junk at the bottom of the box. So there's loose pieces like these, a couple beads and stuff laying in the bottom of the box, and that's it. So that being said, this is my next task. I'm going to sort out this massive pile of earrings and show those off. And FedEx just dropped off a box, and I'm guessing this is my jade only jewelry box, which I really want to open, so I'd kind of like to just stop this video and open that one, but we'll see. All right, I have sorted all of those earrings. There were so many. Here are all of the earrings that were not the super long dangly feather earrings, and most of these are singles, so there's some really cool singles. They will just go in a massive singles lot. Loved that lion door knocker. I was hoping he had a match. No special sterling or silver or anything. And then these two funky ones, they're each singles, but I'm kind of wondering if maybe they came together and to be worn because they're the similar style, but who knows. All singles. And then these two were the ones that as I pulled them out, I was thinking to myself, ooh, if that has a match, I might keep it. And I'm wondering because they are almost exactly the same except for slight differences. This one has a few more rhinestones around the edge and the different color feathers. But I'm wondering if they came together as a match, even being different. And I might just wear them like that. I don't know. I'll probably keep them and either eventually throw them in a lot of singles or wear them together. These funky crochet knit earrings did not have a match for any of them. Find them. This one I think is kind of cool. The others I'm not so sure. Maybe somebody just playing around, seeing what they could create, but this one I think is kind of cool. They will go in a single earring lot. And then we have some pairs, some funky pairs. I love these. And these I will definitely likely list on their own $12 to $15. Oops. These fancy face, they are giant wooden ovals. I don't know what that is. Some dangles, some little wooden hearts, little wooden flowers. Nope, I guess this one was a single too. Did not have its match. There's another pair like a couple giant hoops that had matches. This one was a single that I didn't toss aside. And then these three were the only ones that are marked. These are Michael Kors. They're super pretty, sparkly hoops. These are marked 925, and they said something else that I couldn't figure out. Haven't tested them yet. And then these are Chico's. So I will likely list all three of those individually, and this one individually, and most of the rest of these earrings. Oh, and these hearts were cool too. They'll probably go in an earring lot, but they're cool. They don't look comfortable to get on though, but I like them. And then, because I couldn't display them all at once, I hung all the feathered ones up, so I'll show you those. So these are all of my super long dangly feather pairs that came out of this box. There are some that are the same exact pair. Some of them are obviously missing either a feather, or like this one's missing the rest of its rhinestone chain. So there are some flaws. There's another duplicate pair. But I think I am going to just take them right here, right as they are, snap pictures, and list as one giant feather earring lot. This one's not feathers, but I included it because they are super long and cool. I held these up to my ears, and they go down to like mid-waist line, so super long. Same with these. But somebody will want, definitely, a huge lot of feather earrings. Alright, it is about a week later after I posted my first half of this box, and this is what I am down to. This is the stuff that I feel like I will be listing individually. Starting with some of the cheaper stuff. This leather bracelet with the little zipper pouch inside. I'm going to try to get $12 to $15 on that. These fun, funky, colorful hoop earrings, probably $8 to $10. These are Chico's earrings, probably about $10. And then these little sterling silver earrings, about probably $12. This I am still perplexed on the brand. It is either Olay or 310, if I flip it around the other way, and I've got stain from my silver acid again, but 310 or Olay, I don't know, but it's cool. I'm gonna guess that whatever it is, I can get $12 to $15 at a minimum. We'll see if I come up with any better information. This I'll probably put up in my 5 for $20 sale in Poshmark, maybe mark it $8 and see what happens. This fun cross 3-strand, multi-strand cross necklace, probably list around $12. This set of super bright, colorful plastic bangles, I think I'll get around $12 to $15 on. This is Express multi-strand silver tone heart rhinestone necklace. I'll probably get $15 to $18 on that. These are both sterling and currently scrapped, but they're both in good condition, so if I have a sterling chain with nothing on it, I might put one of those two, especially this one, because it's just really cool. So they might get used to repurposed something. This chain was marked 14 kgp, and seems to be accurate. So 14 karat gold plated chain. I will probably try to get 12 to 15 on that. This is a sterling bracelet, marked and tested. Where did the mark go? Somewhere in there. There we go. And I haven't weighed it yet, but I'm gonna guess I'll get $18 to $22 on that. This is AMV. You can kind of see if if I get it in the right light. It's marked AMV, and then it is also 14 karat gold plated little charm, and you could probably sell it just on its own for about $15. This is a sterling silver pendant and sterling silver chain. I'll probably get about $15 on that one. This one is, this one is alabaster. And it is also 14 karat gold plated chain necklace that I'll probably ask around $20 for. This also tested as sterling, and the chain is marked and tested as sterling. I'll aim for 15 to 20-ish on that. This I'm still perplexed by. I don't know what that 566 is, but this is just a really cool piece. So I don't know. I will see what I can do with it. This was the Horo piece. I did test it. It seems to be 10 karat gold plated, or possibly 12 karat gold plated. I can show you how I determined it was plated. This, I'm not sure about these stones. I was thinking maybe jasper, but I'm not certain. But it's fun, it's unique. I'm guessing $18 to $22 on that. This Chico's bracelet. I don't know, maybe 15-ish on that. Chico's jewelry does pretty well for me, and I'm thinking this is silver plated and not sterling silver. If I scratched deep enough, I didn't get quite the same reaction, but the surface reaction indicated sterling. But it's not marked anywhere. And I couldn't find the exact same one. But it's not the crazy funky style that a lot of Chico's stuff is. So I don't know. I'll try it for 15 and see what happens. This, on the other hand, is Lucky Brand, and it is super big and chunky and funky and cool, and I'm guessing I can get 18 to 20 on that. This was the very last piece that I untangled. It is Premier Designs. Has its hang tag somewhere up here. And I had to sacrifice 2 other unbranded necklaces that I just started slicing up in order to pull them free of this one. I'll aim for $18 to $22 on that one. And then this super long Tahari, this one here, gold and black necklace, I will probably aim for about $20 to $24 on. This sterling silver necklace, I'm going to aim for about $20 on. Fun crystals. These are, I couldn't see it at first, it's got this really cool iridescent cameo in there, but I didn't see it at first. They are Whiting and Davis, and the writing is really tiny. There you go, you can kind of see it on the clasp. And in the right lighting, you can't even see that there's any wording on there. But they are Whiting and Davis, and I think I can get about $20 for these stunning clip-on cameo earrings. The Michael Kors earrings, I'm going to aim for about $25 for. And then this amazing piece, I'm going to aim for about $80 on. It's got pretty much every stone possible. There's some coral and some cinnabar and some turquoise and some jade. And these did test as sterling silver, so every single metal piece throughout is sterling. These fun little shell inlay stones, these are all sterling up here. So I couldn't find anything exactly like it or even anywhere comparable, but it is an amazing artisan type piece, and I think I can get at least $80 for it. So that one there pays for the box. Everything else is kind of a bonus. And then I'm going to show you how I determined this is plated rather than solid. So first off, the basic gold test. I'm going to scratch my stone, give it a nice good dark scratch so you can hopefully see it. And then I'm going to start with the 10K solution. Drop a tiny bit on there, and you can see through it. You can see that the lines are still on the stone. They did not dissolve. So then I move up to the 14K solution, drop a tiny dab of that, and you can see that it kind of instantly dissolves. You can no longer see any lines through the dab of acid. So that would indicate to somebody that this is 10 or maybe 12 karat, somewhere in between 10 and 14 karat gold. But I knew it was coral because it said coral on it, and didn't think that I knew of any fine solid gold coral pieces. I could be wrong. Now I'm not even seeing the coral. Oh, it's right in there. So one way you can determine if a piece is solid gold or plated, and you have to be willing to possibly damage the piece, is to take the gold and the acid solution and drop it directly on the piece itself. Now the 10K solution, since it didn't dissolve it on the stone, won't do anything if I drop it on the piece itself. Should be fine. So you have to go up to the first one that dissolved it on the stone. Now sometimes you don't have to cut into the piece. You'll still get the same effect, especially if there's already scratches on the surface. But this one was pretty solid, so I had to kind of scratch into it. If you scratch down a little bit, so that assuming that there is plating on there, you're exposing the metal underneath, and you take your 14K solution and drop it right where you scratched, it will turn bright green and start fizzling if there is something other than gold underneath. Now if it is silver underneath, it'll turn like a creamy pinkish color. So if it's gold plated over sterling, it'll turn a creamy pinkish color. But if it's some other random type of metal under there, it'll turn bright green and start bubbling up. It's hard to tell on this piece. Some pieces it's a little more obvious, but it eats away at the surface. Now this was already missing a couple stones. I knew for a fact it wasn't gold. If it was gold, it wouldn't have done anything to it other than the scratch that you dig into it. So you're only going to ruin a piece if it's not gold to begin with. But like this piece, you can see I did the same thing here. Makes it a little more obvious. This did the same where it tested fine with the 10K on the stone. So if I take the 14K and dabble it on there, turns bright green, starts eating away at all of the materials underneath the plating, and I could essentially clean all of the plating off by doing this over and over again. So I am going to use this for something, either in crafting or for myself, so I didn't mind messing it up a little bit. But that is what you risk doing if you want to drop the acids directly on your non-gold item. And finally, this video is done, this box is done, and my next one will be a much quicker video. It's only about a 3-pound box, but I spent twice as much on it. but it's supposed to be all jade jewelry, and there were some really fun pieces, so that will be the next one that I unbox. I have another like 14-pounder, something like this, and then I think I have 11 pounds coming. I bid on a bunch this weekend, but I didn't have very much luck on most of them, so don't have a lot coming, but I still have plenty to open, and this is keeping me entertained during this lockdown. So I hope you guys are all well. Thank you so very much for watching. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and stay tuned because a fun jade box is going to be opened soon.